In this video, we will try to solve a problem on own price elasticity of demand, cross price elasticity of demand, and income elasticity of demand. The question is like this. The demand function for a good Y is being given as Q is equal to 12 minus 4 Py plus 0.04 M minus 0.5 Px. Q is the quantity demanded of good Y, and this Py denotes the price of good Y, M denotes the income of the consumer, and Px denotes the price of other good, that is X. Okay, so find the expressions for the own price elasticity of demand. We have to find out the own price elasticity of demand, the cross price elasticity of demand, and the income elasticity of demand. Okay, evaluate the elasticities if the price of good Y is 15, price of good X is 10, and total income of the consumer is 2000. Okay, so let's try to solve this question. So first, finding the own price elasticity of demand, that is own price elasticity of demand. Okay, how do we calculate the own price elasticity of demand? So first, let me write our the demand function. Q is equal to 12 minus 4 times the price of good Y plus 0.04 times the income of the consumer minus 0.5 times price of good X. Okay, now own price elasticity of demand means, let me denote it like this. E subscript D denotes the elasticity of demand. It is being given as the change in the quantity of good Y with respect to the change in the price of good Y into price of good Y times quantity of good Y. Okay, so this denotes our own price elasticity of demand. That means how this dq upon dpy means change in the quantity demanded of good X with respect to price. Okay, so how do we calculate this dq upon dpy? So dq upon dpy means the partial derivative of this demand function with respect to py. Okay, since we have here this py, the derivative of py is 1, so we are left with 1. Okay, so here we have no py involved in this term, we have no py involved, and also in the last term we don't have the py involved. Derivative of py is 1, so we are left with minus 4. Okay, so dq upon dpy is minus 4. Now using elasticity of demand formula here, so dq upon dpy is minus 4, and what is price of good Y is being given as 15, so I can write here 15 upon what is Q. Q is this whole term, whole expression, and we evaluate it the given prices and income. Okay, so we have 12. I will write here 12 minus 4, price of good Y is being given as 15. Then we have plus 0.04, the income is being given as 2000, minus 0.5, the price of good X is being given as 10. Okay, so this comes out to be minus 4 into 15 is minus 60 upon, so we have here 12 minus 4 15 goes 60, 0.04 into 2000, it comes out to be 80. Okay, so I will write here 80, and this is 0.5 of 10 comes out to be 5. Okay, when we solve this out, this comes out to be minus 60 upon this. These numbers add up to 27. Okay, which comes out to be minus 2.2. That means our own price elasticity of demand is minus 2.2. And how do we interpret this very thing? It simply tells us if price of good Y increases by, let us say, 1% or by 1 unit, quantity demanded of good Y will decrease by 2.2%. person or unit. Okay, because we have negative sign, it shows there is negative relationship between the price of good Y and quantity demanded of good Y. Okay, I hope I'm making myself clear. This was all about own price elasticity of demand. Now coming to the cross price elasticity of demand. How do we write the cross price elasticity of demand? So let's write here cross price elasticity of demand is being given us here. This is being, let us denote it by C subscript D. This is being given us as what we call change in the quantity of good Y with respect to change in the price of good X into price of good X upon quantity of good Y. Okay, so cross price elasticity of demand tells us how much quantity demanded of one good changes with respect to the change in the price of other good. Okay, that's why we call it the cross price elasticity. Okay, now what is this very derivative here, dqy upon dpx? What does this tell us? We need to take the partial derivative of this demand function with respect to price of x this time. Okay, so here we don't have in the first three terms px involved. In the last term we have the px involved, the derivative of px. Let me write it here first. So dqy upon dpy will come out to be, sorry, dpx. Okay, so the derivative of px is 1. We are left with minus 0.5. Okay, and then what is the cross price elasticity of demand? So cross price elasticity of demand will come out to be, so this very stuff came out to be minus 0.5. Okay, what is price of x is being given us here. This is 10 upon what is qy is this whole expression and evaluated at the given values. Okay, so we again have this very stuff here. That means we have 12 minus 4 into 15 plus 0.04 of 2000 minus 0.5 of 10. Okay, when we evaluate this very stuff, we will get minus 7.5 upon 27, which comes out to be minus 0.27. Okay, so we got here negative value. So this is our cross price elasticity of demand. And what does this tell? It simply tells us if price of good X, let us say, increases by 1%, okay, quantity demanded of good Y will decrease by 0.27%. Okay, there is inverse relationship between the price of good X and quantity demanded of good Y. So if we have negative relationship, we can say the cross price elasticity of demand is negative here. Okay, and by negative we mean the two goods are complements. Okay, so we have complementary goods there. We can say petrol and car. Okay, if price of petrol increases, quantity demanded of cars will decrease obviously. Okay, so how do we make it sure that we have this very step here? Because we have negative sign here, there is inverse relationship between quantity of demanded of good Y and the price of good X. Okay, so this was about the cross price elasticity of demand. Coming to the income elasticity of demand, so let me try to figure out this income elasticity also. So we have Jalla Shanahu, income elasticity, same stuff here, income elasticity of demand. Let us denote it by like this. This will be change in quantity demanded of good Y with respect to change in the income of the consumer into M upon Qy. Okay, so Azan is going. Let me first stop here. Okay, then what is this dqy upon dm? That means we need to take the derivative partially of this demand function with respect to income. Okay, so since we have only here m involved, so derivative of m is 1. That means dqy upon dm derivative came out, the derivative of m is 1, so we are left with 0.04. Okay, and what is the elasticity, income elasticity of demand? Let us right than this. So dqy upon dm came out to be 0.04 into what is the income. Income is being given us says 2000, and qy is this whole stuff when evaluated at the given values. So we have this very thing here again, that is, let me write here, 12 minus 4 into 15 plus 0.04 into 2000 minus 0.5 into 10. Okay, when we solve this whole stuff, it will come out to be 80 upon 27, which comes out to be 2.96. That means this is our income elasticity of demand, and it simply tells us if price, sorry, if income increases by 1%, quantity demanded of good Y will also increase by 2.96%. That means there is positive relationship between the income and the quantity demanded of good Y. Okay, because and this is being authenticated by the positive sign of this elasticity, income elasticity. I hope I make myself clear in this video. Thank you.